herring and Swiss sandwich. It was awful. Hey, everybody! It's Monday night. Welcome to the MCU Mondays. I almost said happy hour. How about that? We are on MCU Mondays tonight because you know what? It's Monday, and we're gonna. Oh, I'm being attacked. Now my cat's here. So, I am your host, David. Welcome to MCU Mondays. With me, as always, is my co-host, Debbie. How are you, Debbie?
I'm doing well. Hello to all those geeks out there, Marvel, Star Wars, whatever. If you like our content, wow, can't talk. Please hit the like and subscribe button so you can catch us every Monday night or Thursday night for Star Wars Cantina Happy Hour, where we're talking about Ahsoka.
Also, don't forget to set up the alerts on your YouTube. That way your phone dings or your computer dings or something tells you, hey, boo, they're about to go live or they are going live. So don't forget to hit those alerts. Those are important too, besides the like and subscribe. But we do like the like. We love the love. We love the like and subscribes. So we're going to talk about Daredevil tonight. And Kitty, you're driving me crazy. Go away. Scray. Get. So we're going to talk about Daredevil tonight. But I think before we do that, I think we're going to need to do our intro. So let's roll the intro, shall we? Very cool. Love that fight scene. It was a great scene. Great scene. So we are on episode. Are we 4? Is this 4?
It's 4.
In the blood. And you really had to read this episode. There was a lot of reading involved in this episode. Not necessarily the comic books, but there was a lot of Russian spoken and Spanish. I think there was more Russian and Spanish spoken than there was English in this episode, which is kind of
well. I always have my captions on anyways because sometimes the music's too loud and you can't hear the conversation, or sometimes there's no music but they're whispering or whatever. So yeah, I always have captions on.
And then you turn it way, way up, and then somebody comes in and says, "Why is the TV turned up so loud? Turn it down!" Like, couldn't hear. The last scene was really quiet.
It's just me and my son, so we're always, competing. Well, usually he has his headphones on, so he can't hear me anyway. So,
yeah. So this level starts off much like Iron Man 2 started off, in a Russian prison. Go figure that one out. Ow! Cat, get away from me. Cat, go away. She just bit me. So I'm not
feeling frisky.
This is the first time that they've I think this is the first time that they've actually made mention. I mean, they've always said something like "Guess who," but this time they're kind of giving him a title, the Man in Black. Man with the mask.
They've done that.
Huh?
They did that in the previous episode where they called him the Masked Man.
The Masked Man.
Or the Man in Black. He's been called both.
There was also references to Iron Man and Thor in this one as well. Did you happen to catch those?
Yes.
Something about, he was talking about him. He goes, he's just a man in a black mask. And he says something like, yeah, well, it could be worse. He could be in an iron suit or have a magical hammer. I don't care what anybody says. I still take these as canon. I would take these any day of the week as being a part of the greater MCU. You know, I don't, Kevin Feige, whatever. Whatever, Kevin. These are real. I buy it.
Loser.
We got somebody in the chat, a Shield Maiden. I probably had it come. Oh, the cat. Yeah, probably.
Mhm. You're mean to the kitty.
Well, she's almost like a dog. She requires attention like all the time. You know, most cats, I'm like, they want you to pay attention to them when they want to pay attention, then they go away. They're just like, okay, fine, I'm done. Leave me alone until I need attention again, and then I'm good with that. You know, this one's like I'm here, rub my belly, do something. Anyway, all right, in the blood. So we start off with the Russian brothers. They're in a prison. They've decided that they're not going to be. This was like 8 years prior to this happening now.
Right.
So they could have been in prison with what's his name from Iron Man 2 with Whiplash. See, that's the other thing. Siberian. It was a Siberian. It wasn't just a Russian prison. It was a Siberian prison. Nothing good. Okay, Siberia. Let's look at Siberia in the MCU for just a minute. Okay, you've got God, I can't think of his name. Who was Whiplash in Iron Man 2? What was his name? His dad. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm going to look it up.
Oh, okay. So
keep talking.
They talked about his dad, and his dad was a rival of Howard Stark's, and Howard had him banished to Siberia. Of course, why not? Everybody goes to Siberia. Then in Captain America Civil War, you had I wasn't the only Winter Soldier. There was a whole group of them. Where are they? Guess what? They're in Siberia. And guess what? Look now. We are in another Siberian prison, for crying out loud.
It's all connected. We don't
care. You're getting a bad rap, and I'm sorry for that. I apologize I don't know what I have to apologize for, but I'm sorry. Apparently, you're a bad place according to these movies, and I'm sure you're very lovely. Okay. Rant over Siberia.
Ivan Vanko.
Vanko, yeah. I was thinking it was Ivan, but I wasn't quite for 100%.
Ivan Vanko.
So
I don't have a Russian accent, so
and see, that was one of the other good things. You know, I talked about the language thing, and it was nice of them to use the actual language. I hate when shows do that and they use the actual language and they do like 2 or 3 lines for each character, and then once you establish, okay, well, they're speaking something else, and then they just automatically switch to English to where it's like, okay, now you can understand it. It's like it takes away from the realism for me, you know. This was good because they're talking to each other in Russian, and especially when they're interrogating. By the way, we're talking spoilers, so if you haven't seen this episode,
why not?
Why not? Why haven't you watched Daredevil? If anything, you need to watch Daredevil because Daredevil Reborn is coming. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if this show is referenced in that show. Even though they've already said that this one isn't canon, then that one will be.
We shall see.
We shall see. But anyway, yeah, it takes away from the or when they were interrogating the she's not a doctor, she's a nurse.
Claire,
yeah. When they were interrogating her and they were about to do something, and one of them says, "No, stop." He said, "Let her give us the information, and then, or we can't kill her until she gives us what we want to know." So, but he said it in Russian, so she wouldn't understand.
Right.
So, again, adds to the realism of it all, to where it's like, yeah, these guys can speak English, but their native tongue is Russian. Or what really gets me is when if they're in a movie and they're speaking Russian, they switch over to that English dialogue. But when they switch to the English dialogue, it's like in a British accent. It's like, now where did that come from? Come on.
They're multilingual. They're very talented.
It was like, did you ever watch The Hunt for Red October with Alec Baldwin and Sean Connery? And Sean
Yes.
Connery starts off the movie speaking Russian, and then all of a sudden he's speaking Scottish. And it's like, with a Scottish accent. What? All right, whatever. I guess Sean Connery doesn't need voice lessons.
It was better than when Harrison Ford in K-19 trying to do a Russian accent. I mean, speaking English, but trying to do a Russian accent, and it was, I love you, Harrison, but man, that was bad. That was bad.
And he did the same thing in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade too, because he had the Scottish accent when they went to the castle. But even that was played off as, yeah, he's not supposed to sound like that. he's.
But it wasn't bad. It wasn't as bad as the Russian.
If you are Scottish Lord, then I am Mickey Mouse. Lovely.
Ah.
Oh.
Great.
We love you, Harrison. We know you watch, so we love you. You're great. You're awesome.
Me more.
Yeah, definitely. and he'll be in the MCU before we know it too.
Yes, Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts. Yes.
It's all coming together.
I hope so. I hope this one's good. I really do. I've been very disappointed in the Marvel offerings since Phase 3 ended. Phase 3 ended. I mean, there've been a couple gems here and there, but nothing just like, I want to go watch it again. You know, Captain America Civil War, I could watch that one a million times.
Yeah, I plan on doing a rewatch of that.
Infinity War and Endgame. Oh. So I watched Age of Ultron yesterday. Just because I wanted to watch Age of Ultron. So, because James Spader's awesome. So, that's another one. That would be another one. I'd like to sit and have coffee with him someday. Just to talk to him. And we could talk about anything.
Listen to him talk.
Yeah, I was going to say we can talk about anything. I just listen to him talk. I don't even have to say anything. He's so awesome. Anyway, all right. In the blood, we got the Russian guys. One of them gets the bejesus beaten out of him by the man in black. And then we get Fisk's henchman there, and basically he made it sound like he wanted that Fisk wanted to buy them out. Basically, like we want to step in and take over control of
because they were underperforming. They were not getting distribution out.
Right.
Their distribution was light. Why? Because of the man in black.
The man in black. And no, we're not talking about Johnny Cash. Yeah, I'm old. Leave me alone. I like Johnny
knew who
Cash.
That was.
Yeah. So, they say no, they're going to handle it themselves. Not a big deal. They
Hello.
Andrew's on. Hello, Andrew. How are you? But we've got the other little subplot going on with Allied Distribution. Was that it? Or
United Allied.
And she goes to the reporter, and the reporter basically tells her just to leave it alone. All is well.
See, this is why I don't like her. I just
she's you know what, Andrew? All is well, because guess what? Tomorrow is a red letter day. Tomorrow, August the 29th, is a red letter day. Not only is it Michael Jackson's birthday tomorrow, it's my birthday tomorrow. Daddy thinking he's gonna get some new Legos tomorrow.
Oh boy.
I just need some more, you know? I just gotta have more. Hey, avocado.
My buddy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Even Shield Maiden said it's avocado. So we've got where were we? I lost it. Underperforming. Fisk wants to take over.
Yeah.
They're going to try and track down Fisk because apparently he's like completely off the grid. I mean, just completely apparently, because even Matt can't find anything out about him. And I think that was even brought up in this episode was he was looking for him and he was asking for him by name. So somebody somewhere has spilled the beans and let him know that Fisk is a player in this lovely game we've got going on.
Correct.
Oh, and then you've got the subplot with the reporter, and they go to the auction because she wants to look at the computers, see what she can find in the computers.
Well, she was trying to see who, because Unified Allied evidently filed bankruptcy. She's
Right.
excuse me. She's wanting to find out because this is a liquidation auction. Excuse me.
She's finding she's trying to find the trail and where is it going?
Yeah, because they'll just end up opening up under a different name. So she's wanting to see who's buying up all the big stuff like cranes and, office stuff. You can get that anywhere, but like the
computers and things.
Yeah, the big stuff you know.
That might have something valuable on the hard drive, maybe.
Well, I would assume if they were smart, they would.
They would have. You would think so, but if they're wanting to just say, okay, we're going to hand everything over, and John X over here is going to buy everything, so we don't need to worry about deleting anything. Otherwise, we're just going to have to reinstall everything.
Possibly.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. So, and she's sketching the guys. She's sketching them as they bid, which I guess I'm not that talented. I draw a stick figure, and even that's subpar at best. I am not an artsy kind of person. So anyway, the reporter shows up and says, "You got to buy something and get out of here because you're as obvious as a fly on a paper plate in the middle of a snowstorm."
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody knows who she is and what she looks like.
Oh yeah. Well, was she in the news when she was accused of murdering that guy? I'd swear she was.
I would assume so.
So yes, even if they don't know who she is, but everybody, yes, working for that United whatever is very obviously going to know who she is, and they're going to be keeping an eye out for her. Then the reporter basically pulls her in and says, "You got to be more careful. Blah blah blah. I'll help you out, kind of thing, but we got to do it quiet, like, and you can't call me or get a hold of me, and blah 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 blah." So, she did end up buying a bunch of stuff, and that made Foggy happy because that was his big complaint, was that we don't have an office, we've got a space. An office has things in it, fax machines and copiers and phones and desks and things like that. And she bought a bunch of old office crap, 30-year-old office crap. It's from the 90s. I think it's from the 90s. So that was, again, humor, kick in the humor. But one of the things that the Russians were trying to get at Daredevil, trying to get at the Man in Black, and they knew that there was a girl involved, and they knew that she had helped him and was helping him, and so they went after her. And Matt uses his super hearing. He can hear him. He knows something's going on. Tries to chase him down. And it turns out that it was her neighbor who had given her up. But only after they beat him and threatened his family. But if you're blind, you don't notice the ultra minimalism.
Well, what I really liked about this episode was the brutality of it.
Oh, the whole thing was.
Because at the beginning of the show, the Russian brothers are making shivs out of the dead guy's ribs. Mm-hmm. I mean, holy hell. And then, of course, they beat up Claire and I think it's Santino, her neighbor.
He wasn't as bad. I think it was the threatening the family, but he was beaten. I mean, you could tell he had bruising and whatnot, but it wasn't.
Yeah, Claire was beaten pretty good too. Well, and then, they go and they go to the hospital to talk to their buddy.
Oh my God, that was horrible.
They stuck a big needle of epinephrine and jabbed it in him.
They pulled out his intubation tube, and his arm was all up in traction and a sling and everything. They dropped it down. I'm like, geez, God,
they didn't care. They needed info, damn it, and they needed it now.
And they hit him with that epinephrine. He goes, "You sure that was epinephrine?"
I don't know. He usually does this.
He's the one that usually does this. I don't know. Oh my God.
Gosh!
And then at the end, let's
say that.
Hold on to that one, because that's a good one.
Oh, that one was beautiful.
Hold that thought. It
was beautiful.
Because the end was, we talk about this episode being so brutal, and the end was just all the other stuff that happened in the episode was like Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts compared to what happened at the end. And I was like, don't piss off Vincent D'Onofrio. Let's just say that. Anyway, the Russians kidnap her. Of course, Matt finds her, beats the holy living bejesus out of their crew. Again, brutal. I mean, he.
Now, I don't think, at least not on purpose, I don't think he killed anybody. I think he was just knocking people out. But
did that guy at the first? He's the one that ended up in the hospital, right? That he threw out the window on top of their car?
Yes.
Okay. Because I was like, I saw that initially, and I was like, well, he's not a good guy. He just killed somebody. I mean, even Batman doesn't kill people, for crying out loud.
Well, he tried to kill Superman.
He tried, but he didn't, because he's a good guy. Superman killed Zod. Superman's a bad guy.
Well, Zod's even worse. Zod's even a worse guy.
Zod's an even worse guy.
He was trying to kill the whole planet.
Genocide.
And then what I also, as brutal as Fisk can be, he goes to the gallery to ask out Vanessa.
Yeah.
And it's just so uncomfortable and awkward.
And this is one of the reasons I really like this scene where he goes to the the thing, the gallery again, because she's asking him about the paintings, and he says, would you like to have dinner with me? And she says, I'm the only one here. And he says, okay, some other time then. And basically she shot him down, and she's like, what, you're not going to buy everything so that I can leave early? And he seems like that kid in high school that was just kind of kept to himself and was scared of women and didn't want to ask anybody out. He's just he's the nervous Nelly. He's the little weird kid that nobody likes.
Yeah.
He doesn't know how to talk to women. He's socially awkward. That's what I'm looking for. He's socially awkward.
Yeah, because he didn't act super nervous to me. It was just that he was just awkward and just didn't know.
He didn't know how to say things.
Yeah, he didn't. He doesn't know how to talk to girls.
Does not know how to talk to girls. Socially awkward. Yes, I will buy that. But eventually he does, and I was socially awkward in. Yes. Brutal on him too, because he doesn't know how to talk to girls, and watching him try to stumble through that was pretty brutal.
All kinds of way brutal.
Yeah. But I mean, it was just because see, I was that kid in high school that was like, I don't know, girls scare me, but I like being around them, but they scare me, so I'm not gonna say anything. So
I'm still that way.
No.
You get me in.
You don't like talking about. You don't like talking about talking to girls or anything like that.
You get me asked full of people that I don't know, and I will be that wallflower that just kind of like a Simpson fading into the hedges.
Yeah,
that's me.
He was a big teddy bear friend who was always friend zoned, and he was the one. Okay, I'm gonna add a touch onto that. He was always friend zoned, and then later in life, the women are all saying, "Why can't I find a good guy?" And it's like, because you friend zoned him in high school. You friend zoned him in high school. That was the good guy, and you let him go. And now he's married to some blonde bimbo with big bazongas, making umpteen gazillion dollars a year doing something, and you wish you had it. So maybe all of you younger ladies that are out there that are watching this show, that guy that you might think is the friend zone material, maybe you ought to give him a second look. Maybe. Oh, well, thank you. That makes me feel better then. And by the way, Debbie, I'm completely the opposite. I am very. You could. Are
you a social butterfly?
Oh, you have no idea.
Oh Lord,
you have no idea. My wife hates it because she is very introverted, and I am very extroverted. She always tells me, she goes, I can't go to places like that. I was like, why not? She goes, because I don't know anybody and I don't want to. She said, but you can go in there and not know anybody and you'll be friends with everybody by the end of the night. I'm like, oh,
yeah. I don't even like going to work because that means I have to talk to the public.
Means I hate it. To people.
I have to talk to people. I have to deal with them. I don't like it.
But yeah, anyway, like I said, I love the scene. He takes her out for an Italian dinner. I don't even know what was that dessert that he was.
Zuppa? Zappa or Zuppa?
Something like that. And then she makes some kind of comment. Yes, if you're a 5-year-old boy on your birthday, that is a good dessert. She's like poking fun at him and the chocolate. And then you have one of at some point, the two Russian brothers decided, okay, we know where Fisk is. We've been following him. We know where he is. We're going to go ask him for help. And he busts in. And here comes.
What?
Oh.
Where in the universe would you think
that would be a good idea?
Exactly. They know what this guy, they may not know who he is exactly, but they know what he can do. And it's like, Why would you even think that's a good idea?
Well, that's why you say you go to his little henchman and say, I need to set up a meeting.
Well,
And
the Russian guy bulldozed right past Wesley.
yeah, he sure did. I was like, because he wanted to talk to him. And I think, honestly, if he had tried to set up a meeting, Wesley would have said, well, you're dealing with me. You're not, nobody's dealing with him. You're going to deal with me. So he busted past Wesley. Then all hell breaks loose. You've got to get out of here. You can't be here. Go put him in the car. What's wrong? I thought he was going to get mad at Wesley for a minute there.
Well, then they get to, which I assume was outside of her apartment. And, he's awkwardly, again, trying to ask her out on another date. And she's like, I don't know, basically, you act one way and then all of a sudden, we're rushed out of the restaurant and we're outside walking.
There's two sides to this coin.
Yeah, and she's
I don't know
not
what the
too
other side
sure.
looks like.
Yeah, she's not too sure, red flags.
Yeah.
And you could see the moment that she turned around to leave, you could see how pissed he was. And at that moment,
he snapped.
It's not going to be good for Russian bro.
Yeah.
Not good at all.
So they take Russian bro in the car, the one brother. They take him in the car, and he basically said something like, we want him to help, blah, blah, blah. We need his help. We want him to take over, deal with the man in black, yada, yada, yada. He says, okay, but he wants to talk to you first. And then he picks up the phone. Yes, passenger side. And I was like, oh, this does not.
When I heard that, I
this
was
does
like,
not bode well. This is
no,
not bode well at all.
Not good. Not good.
The door opens up, and there he is, and he beat the crap out of him. I mean, just beat the whole.
Well, Russian bro got a few good shots in.
He did. He cut his suit. Which that was an Easter egg in this episode. I don't know if you caught that or not. That let me think. Melvin Potter. He says we need to contact Mr. Potter for a new suit. Well, Melvin Potter
is related to Harry Potter.
Of course, he's the American equivalent of Harry Potter. Melvin Potter. No, Melvin Potter is a Daredevil villain named Gladiator. He's a costume maker.
Mm.
So I did not know that. I did some research too. I did look at this one. So and that's in the comic books. So if you're a fan of the comic books and you knew that better than I did, good on you. You beat Debbie too. But I looked it up. I Googled it up. It's all good. So anyway, yeah, Melvin Potter is the costume maker, Gladiator. And I mean, it
was awesome.
Holy crap. For some reason, Google went off. My phone's going off telling me who Melvin Potter is. Shut up. Dumb thing. Can't even talk.
So Fisk is beating the ever-loving crap out of this guy. And this guy is crawling towards the open car door where he was grabbed out of. And he's asking Mr. James Wesley for help,
and he's just sitting there like
where did you think that was going to happen?
Yeah.
And then Fisk, he just head is in the door and Fisk is just boing at least 20 times. At least. I mean,
he kept saying, you embarrassed me in front of her.
Mm-hmm.
You embarrassed me in front of her. That was his big thing.
Yeah.
And he really snapped on. I mean, it was, in the episode prior to this where we first meet him, and then through most of this episode, he's always been he's quiet and calm and cool and collected and
very stoic.
Yes, very stoic. And in this one, he was just
all hell broke loose.
The anger was there.
I mean, he decapitated the guy with the door.
It was
and sent it back to his brother.
Yeah. And he says, this is going to start a war. I'm
counting on it.
And he's back to being stoic. He beat the crap out of him. He got all of his aggression out, and he's back to okay.
Yeah, just wiped his face from the little blood splatter and
business as usual.
Continued on like nothing happened. It was great.
It was.
This is probably one of my favorite episodes, just because of the brutality of it all.
And again, this is what makes Vincent D'Onofrio so good. God, I love Vincent D'Onofrio. Vincent, I know you watch sometimes, so if you see this and you want to go hang out, I'd love to just sit and chit chat with you as well. Maybe get you, Michael Chiklis, and Neil Flynn all in the same room, and James Spader. We'll get all of us. We'll go out for pizza or something. It'll be great.
I don't know if I could sit in the same room as Vincent. He's very. I mean, I've seen him in interviews and very pleasant guy, but I mean, he is so intimidating. I don't think I could.
Well, that's because of the characters you got to look at some of the characters that he plays.
I know, but he looks intimidating. He's a big guy.
Yeah.
And, unless he's smiling, he's got a very mean face, resting bitch face.
Even when he smiles, though, I mean, Jurassic World, he was smiling and carrying on, and you're like, this guy's evil.
He's a great actor. I love him.
Oh, he's awesome. He's amazing. I can't think of anything that I've seen him in that I was just like, oh, this is just horrible. This is terrible. Men in Black. So good. So good.
Bugman.
Sugar. And water.
I mean, the effort he put into, I don't even know how he did it. I mean, he's walking all whack-a-jawed and...
Yeah.
That was great. I watched that probably about a couple months ago. And it's still, I was still laughing out loud because it was just...
it holds up, yeah.
Yeah, it holds up. It's hilarious. If you've never seen Men in Black with Vincent as the bug man.
The first one, not the second and third, and definitely
the first
international.
One.
The first
the original one. But it's awesome. For you kiddos out there that might be too young to remember that. It's great.
Get mom and dad to dust off their DVDs of Men in Black, because chances are they owned it, because that movie was huge back in the day, or might be on somewhere.
It was, because I think I watched it. It was either on HBO or Netflix when I watched it a couple months ago. So
there you go. Find it streaming somewhere. Rent it on Redbox. Watch Men in Black. Just, if anything, just for Vincent D'Onofrio, because he's amazing.
The whole movie is funny. I mean, this was Will Smith at his peak.
This was
before his downfall.
Yeah, before he slapped Chris Rock. So the slap heard around the world.
Bad move.
No, this was definitely good Will Smith, buddy cop kind of movie. Tommy Lee Jones.
Oh God, yeah, Tommy Lee Jones. Good. The aliens.
Yeah, the
little dudes that's always in the break room.
Trying to think of his name. The guy that played Zed.
I see his face. I don't know his name.
Hang on, I'm looking.
Very well-known actor.
He was in He's in one of the airplane movies. Haven't seen the airplane movies. Those are hilarious, by the way. Zed was Rip Torn. Rip Torn was
Yeah.
Zed.
How can you forget a name like that?
I don't know. I knew it was something odd. There you go. Rip Torn.
Rip Torn.
Rip and Torn.
I think I had some other good actors in it too, but those are the main ones.
See, it's Linda Florentino, Tony Shalhoub, who played. He was Monk.
Yeah,
He's the guy that got his head blown off.
Yeah, I forgot about him.
Let's see. No, that's about it. Go watch it. It's a good movie. We have an MCU Mondays, I think, where we talked about those movies, right? Did we talk? We did talk about those.
Yeah. Did we talk about all of them though?
I think we just talked about the first
one. I don't think we talked about 2 or 3.
Oh,
which
2 was really good. I enjoyed 2. It wasn't 3 was kind of like, although 3 had Josh Brolin in it. So,
and he plays Cable.
Yeah, love it or hate it.
Deadpool, so
it's got Josh Brolin in it. Josh Brolin is like Vincent D'Onofrio. He really can't make a bad movie. And
he did a great young Tommy Lee.
Oh yeah, he did. He
did.
He got the mannerisms down perfectly. So, and then I didn't even see International. Did you?
I haven't been able
to. And Valkyrie in it. I know that.
I haven't been able to catch it anywhere online, so I don't know if it's something I'm going to have to rent on Vudu. But yeah, that's one I haven't watched yet.
I was going to go watch it in the theaters, but I got sick that day.
You say that a lot.
That means it wasn't in the theaters for very long. Or I slept in that day. How about that?
Last night I watched The Flash because it finally came to
I know.
HBO.
I'm still
Max,
it's on my list of things.
I watched it. It's not that bad of a movie, but it's not great. There were some good parts, I thought, and I am not a fan of Ezra. But when he's playing against himself, because there's 2 Flashes, I thought he did really well. I really liked how he played the 2 different characters. That was probably his highlight.
No, I noticed it on Max the other day, and I'm like, I said I wasn't going to watch this until it hit Max, and here it is, and I still really don't want to watch it. Even Luke was like,
it's not that bad. The CGI is horrible.
Even Luke was like,
places.
Luke was like, but you said you were going to watch it. We should watch it. And I'm like, DC has failed me so many times. And they keep saying they're going to reboot, but yet they keep churning out the movies from this universe. We're going to reboot everything. And it's like, well, we got The Flash and Aquaman's coming out. And it's like, I thought you were rebooting. You going to finish off this one first and then reboot, or what's?
Yeah, but Aquaman was supposed to come out a while ago, and
I think that one's that one. I
think they've done reshoots, and now they still have it planning on coming out.
Is it? Because I know.
But at this point, I'm kind of with you. I'm like, okay, we're in a different timeline now, so just put it out on Max. Yeah. Be done with it.
Amber Heard was in that one, right? I think that. Yes. I think that was.
I'm hoping
I think that was one of the reasons
a lot of her scenes. I didn't like her in the first one, and I didn't even know who she was back then. I didn't know she was married to Johnny Depp, but I didn't like her back then. I didn't think there was any chemistry whatsoever between her and Jason Momoa. And it's like, how can you not have chemistry with Jason Momoa?
With Jason Momoa. Well, I don't think I would have chemistry with him, but
A paper
whatever.
bag would have chemistry with Jason Momoa.
All it says is here it is. Expected December 20th of 2023.
Okay, so it's still this year.
It's in post production, but also you've got the strike is still happening. Which, by the way, if you get the chance, why don't you head over to geeknewsnow.net, and John Ambrose has written an article on the strike and kind of what it means in the long run. Go check out his article. It's good stuff. John, if you're watching, plug for you, man. Hope you enjoyed it. Blue Beetle might have actually redeemed DC. I doubt it.
I don't know. Everything I'm hearing, there's people who, once again, the fans are divided. Some love it. Some hate it. Well, maybe not hate, but they don't like it.
My thought on it is why do you create? Why do you choose to reboot your universe with a character that is relatively unknown? I mean, the common man on the street, you're going to say, "Oh, we're going to go see the Blue Beetle movie." Yeah, who's that? Now you go to a DC fan and say, "We're going to go to see a Blue Beetle movie." They're going to be like, "Oh, cool, yeah, Blue Beetle. I know who that is." It's like the Guardians of the Galaxy. When the Guardians came out, I was like, "Do I really want to see this?" Well, it's part of the MCU, so yeah, I guess. I've never even heard of these guys. I don't even. Now it's like my favorite movie ever. But something different though with Blue Beetle too, and I think Chris, if you're watching, I think you would agree with me on this one too, is that they really did a disservice in their previews. And I think that's what really turned me off about the thing was when that there in the previews, there was the one line where they said, I think it was George Lopez, in fact, said, "Batman's a fascist." And it's like, Batman is your bread and butter right there. Batman and Superman are the two DC characters that you could make a movie of that are going to make millions of dollars. And you're going to cut him down? Are you out of your friggin' mind? Done. I'm done.
I don't know if that was meant to rile, because we don't know what context.
We don't know what the context. Yeah, you're right. You're
because
absolutely right.
Stuff could have been said afterwards, but yeah.
But they shouldn't have put that in the preview then, because you just pissed everybody off, and now everybody's going to say, "I don't want to go see your movie because you said this." Well, we said it. You got to watch it in context. Like, I don't want to watch it in context now. You said it.
Now I'm going to wait till it comes out on Max.
And even then, I might not watch it, even though it's free. Calm down. Centered. It's all good. In
Namaste.
The nose, out the mouth.
Namaste.
In the nose, out the mouth. Okay. Did we have anything else on Daredevil? Did I miss anything on In the Blood?
No.
Well, very good then. We are good. Shameless plugs. Do we have any shameless plugs this week? We always have shameless plugs. Are you kidding me? Oh, wait, woo. Before we do shameless plugs, programming note. Next week on MCU Mondays, because next week is, for those of you that are overseas, I apologize, but next Monday is a holiday here in the States, at least. It's Labor Day. We all have the day off. It's a day to sit around with your family and cook hot dogs and hamburgers on the grill and have a great time. So next Monday, we will not be having an MCU Mondays because we're going to be enjoying our holiday. Nothing wrong with that. We're going to take a week off.
I'm just going to be a slug on a couch personally, but I don't go anywhere.
I'll find me a swimming pool somewhere, and because it is still hot here. Hamburgers and hot dogs, and it's going to be great. It's going to be great. So, programming note: next Monday we will not have MC. We'll follow up the next Monday with the 5th episode of Daredevil. Okay, now Shameless plugs. What do we got?
Well, Tuesday, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Shield. I believe the Sith Dominion will be having a show tomorrow night.
Think so.
Because I know he was supposed to be off, but then his schedule got changed. But I think he's doing a show tomorrow night. We did have War of the Stars on Wednesdays, but it's moving to Sundays. And then Thursday, of course, Dave and myself will be back for I almost said MCU Mondays. We'll be back for
Cantina Happy Hour.
Cantina Happy Hour, where we're going to talk about episode 2 of Ahsoka that premieres tomorrow night.
3. First 2 episodes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Episode 3.
Episode 3.
You're right. That premieres tomorrow night. So
you keep me in line, I'll keep you in line. You know,
and
two-way street works.
I keep saying I'm going to put down notes, but then I never do.
You never do. Yeah.
Let's see. So that's Thursday night. Saturday night is Geek Gauntlet. They're going to be. Excuse me. I actually have a list of what they're talking about next week, or Saturday, I should say. A second. Okay, so they've been doing death battles between Marvel and DC, so they're gonna continue that. Last week it was Superman and Sentry. I do not know who it is this week. There will be polls up for you to vote on who's gonna win in the death battle. So keep an eye out on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram.
All the socials where we're at, yeah. And don't forget, again, like and subscribe and hit the alert button.
They'll be talking about the 30th anniversary of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, if you remember that 30th anniversary. And they'll also be talking about Ahsoka, Harley Quinn. The first 2 episodes of One Piece is dropping on Netflix.
That's the okay, because we were talking about this. One Piece, I believe, I'm not for 100% sure, is an anime, and they're doing a live action. Is that what I'm understanding?
I've never even heard about it until I got sent the information. Don't know what it is.
I think that's what it is a live action adaptation of the anime. I could be wrong. It has happened.
So kind of like Cowboy Bebop, wasn't that an anime that turned live action that
Cowboy Bebop
pretty well flopped? And then lastly, they're going to be talking about Arlene Sorkin, who, if you don't know by now, she passed away this weekend. She was, I believe, the original voice of Harley Quinn. Were you saying something?
What's so interesting about that is that Harley. Oh yeah, I seem like I'm choppy here.
You're lagging,
or is it everywhere?
You're lagging.
Am I lagging?
I thought it was me, but
hang on a minute.
Because usually I'm the one that freezes.
Apparently, I'm lagging. No, so Arlene Sorkin, what made that so? Harley Quinn was a character that was created specifically for Batman the Animated Series, and it is the live action of the anime by Netflix. Well, there you go. Okay.
Oh, so the Sith Dominion, they're talking about Darth Sion. Which may or may not be important because we have the Eye of Sion in the Ahsoka series that was mentioned in, I believe, episode 2.
Dana, if you're watching, that's something maybe we can tie together. Maybe everything ties. So it's like poetry.
And then Gauntlet will also talk about the live action Snow White, which at this point they should just scrap it. That girl is
She's not doing them any favors. I'll say that.
No, I don't. She's pretty well tanked that movie just by her.
Just the audio interviews she's done. Audio from the interviews she's done.
She needs to learn. Is she pretty young? Does she not know how this works?
Probably.
I'm like, just stop. But no, she does it in every interview. It's just like, why? Just keep your mouth shut. Just say, yeah, I'm playing Snow White. We're doing a little different interpretation. Leave it at that.
Yep.
Yeah. But no. So anyways, they'll be talking about that. And they usually talk about anime and gaming and whatever else might happen during the week for Geek in the Geek universe.
In the Geek universe. It's all good.
It's good.
It's good.
And that's all I've got for plugs.
Yeah. One more shout out real quick, and I'll shout this out again. On the Cantina Happy Hour, I don't know, on the Cantina Happy Hour we had a giveaway. We were giving away some Mandalorian stuff. There's a Lego figure involved, things like that. And Jesse Martinez. No. The Ahsoka was the Funko one. This is the one that we did on the Happy Hour with the etched stuff, the wall signs, and the.
Okay. You're not talking about the one we did last week.
No.
Oh, okay. No. I will shut up.
It was the one like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Jesse Martinez, San Antonio, Texas. You are our big winner. I will send that to you as soon as I have 2 minutes to myself to where I can run to the post office. But I am sending it to you. Don't worry. So
congratulations.
You're the big winner. And like I said, I'll say it again on the Happy Hour, just in case he's not watching. But who wouldn't want to watch us, right?
And if you want to try and find us on other social platforms, there's links down below in the section. It gives you all the links to all of our socials and podcasts. And again, we appreciate you guys watching. Give us a like and a follow.
And a subscribe. Oh, War of the Stars. He's also doing that. He's doing like a kind of a spin-off show too. It's From the Eyes of a Child. Is that what it's called? Or Star Wars Through the Eyes of a Child, something like that. He's watching the Clone Wars
with his daughter.
With his daughter. And what does the little girl think of it? Which I thought about doing that with Luke. So thanks for stealing my. No, I'm kidding. Good. You're good.
Yeah, I'm not sure if. I don't know if he's doing both of those on Sunday or if he's releasing one on Sunday and one on Wednesday. Shield, do you know? Shield still with us.
Maybe.
But anyways, yeah. Like us, subscribe.
That way you
if you're watching us after the live, leave us a comment. Leave a question.
Yeah.
I'm usually the one that answers, so.
Yeah, she answers. Unless you if you ask a question specifically of me, then she'll get on and she'll message me and say, "Hey, ding dong, go answer this question over there. They're asking specifically for you." Okay. All right, fine.
If I must.
I must. I will. I enjoy answering the fans. It's good stuff. October for me is Fan Expo or Fan Fest. I'm sorry, not Fan Expo. Fan Expo's in June. October's Fan Fest. I will be there covering that convention in the Dallas area. If you are in the neighborhood and want to go to an awesome, it's not the biggest con that Dallas has, but it's still a lot of fun.
Is Hayden going to be there?
No, they haven't announced anybody yet, which is kind of surprising because it's almost September and this happens like mid-October. So no, I mean, even as far as like comic book artists and cosplay people, nothing's been announced yet. So I'm hoping to hear some news in the next day or two. Maybe I'll have some news on Thursday for the Happy Hour.
Because depending on the price, I would be willing to pay you
Oh, she's gonna Venmo me some money so I can
for an 8x10 signed
Hayden Christensen.
autograph from Hayden. It depends on who else is there too. Well, I know there's no way.
Hi, Hayden. Can you sign this for me? Who do I make it out to? Debbie.
Your biggest fan.
Okay. Is your name Debbie?
Love him.
No.
It's for my co-host. And then you could plug the show.
Well, we could plug the show. Maybe we could get him on here on the show.
There you go.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yes.
Right.
See, there's a method to my madness.
Always the silver lining somewhere. Always the silver.
Although I probably wouldn't be able to speak, I would just sit here with, a drool bucket.
To be determined.
That's for War of the Stars.
War of the Stars, yeah. To be determined.
But yes. Yes. And I know there's no way Harrison's going to be there, so.
All right. Well, that's going to be it for us tonight. Thank you for joining us on MCU Mondays. We will be off next Monday, but we will be back the next Monday. We will see you all again Thursday night in the Cantina Happy Hour where we're talking about Ahsoka. Y'all have a great night, and we will see you next